What is up, brothers and sisters, and welcome to the Here For It podcast. This is episode 2. And in this one, it's going to take on a more nostalgic flavor because that's where I want to head. You know, you see the gray in my beard, you know I've been around for a while. And I want to talk about, I was playing a game the other day, and I was thinking about, and this is why I say I want to talk about, I'm kind of interrupting that thought. That's what happens when you get older, y'all. This is what happens, all right? So I was playing this game, and I was like, why aren't there more games like this? So that's definitely something I want to get into. I want to talk about a day back in my day when gaming wasn't always so social. So I definitely want to talk about that. You know, another thing we're going to talk about is where the game's at, because we got to talk about that, and the Xbox showcase. So those are the 3 main topics that I'm going to cover in this episode 2. And if anything else comes up, because it just pops in my head, it's just going to come up. It's just going to come up. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'm excited for this. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is back in my day. So I was playing this game called IAI. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's on Xbox. Xbox Series X. I am an Xbox player. I've been playing Xbox since it started, and I'm never gonna stop. I did try PlayStation for you PlayStation lovers out there. I tried it. The controller, I don't know. It's something about it. It just wasn't working for me. I pushed it to the side, tried Xbox, and I've been in love with Xbox ever since. You know, and now I'm on PC. So it's PC and Xbox. That's what I do. So you're like, oh, why didn't you talk about the PlayStation showcase? I'm talking about the Xbox showcase. I'm sorry. I don't know what you want me to do. So anyways, this isn't about the showcase that's coming up. So I want to talk about IAI. So with IAI, it is what they call a fixed shooter. So this fixed shooter is like the Galaga stages. And if you look back behind my shoulder, you'll see Galaga that is on my arcade system back there. You know, just so hopefully you can help you remember those days and help you get that vibe for back in the day when you used to play Galaga. But as you see IAI here on the screen, I absolutely love this game. And why do I love it? It's the simplicity of it. It just reminds me of a time when you get home from school, you jump on the box, and you just exhale. You just exhale, get on there, play a little bit, and you still gotta concentrate, don't get me wrong, because you got enemies all over the screen, but it's a different kind of concentration, you know what I mean? And it's more joyful. It's not sweaty. Like all these multiplayer games today, all the ones that I play, whether it's Rainbow Six Siege, whether it's For Honor, whether it's Call of Duty, no matter what it is, you wanna go to sports game, you got boxing games, Undisputed, you got Madden, you got new college football 25 that's going to be coming out. They are all intense. You know what I mean? If you're doing multiplayer, you don't have to do multiplayer, but multiplayer, because everybody's into that social aspect. They like playing against other players because they feel like they outgrown the AI. They can do whatever they want to with the AI. So they needed some competition. Competition comes from other players. I understand that, but we need more of these type of fixed shooter games. We don't necessarily need your friend from down the street or your friend from another country to actually be playing the game with you. And that's what I love about this. Do you guys remember Dragon's Lair? Remember Dragon's Lair? Dragon's Lair is another game that I love. It was one of the ones, it was either up, down, left, right, or an attack. That's pretty much it. Those were your choices. And then you either got it right or you didn't. And the cool thing about Dragon's Lair when it came out, you haven't seen anything like it. It was like a cartoon that you had control of your actions. You know, depending on what you did was how the cartoon went. And that is unfathomable. You know, you had never seen anything like that. It was so fun in the arcade. And now we could take that experience into our living rooms. And I absolutely love it. And I want to see more games like this. And imagine, Dragon's Lair was back then. You see all the animation that they have right now? When you go in the Lion King, Mufasa, I mean, imagine some of the things that they can do with Dragon's Lair. But will it be as engaging to the people? I think the fixed shooters will be more engaging than something like Dragon's Lair. But I do want to see these fixed shooters come back. Now, one of the things that I really enjoyed when I was younger, and it was a multiplayer game, but it wasn't a multiplayer online game. It was a multiplayer, bring your friends over to your house and then everybody jump in and you sit there, you're like linking like Halo. I don't know if you guys remember Halo Combat Evolved when it first came out, and your buddy would bring his Xbox and he'll bring over a couple controllers, I'll have a couple controllers, and everybody's battling back and forth. You know, that was fun days. Well, Def Jam Fight for NY was on the original Xbox. Now, of course, there was no linking and networking your Xboxes to do it that way, but you still could have one-on-one or a tag team. I don't know if you can do 2-on-2. You might be able to do 2-on-2. I'm trying to remember, but Def Jam Fight for NY was one of the most fun games, and it really brought home like the fighting and hip-hop element to it all. Absolutely loved it. And even though they came out with Def Jam Icon, I know y'all remember Def Jam Icon that came out for the Xbox 360. Even though they came out with that, it just wasn't the same. It didn't have that same feel. It was almost, the graphics had improved, but the fighting system, the gameplay itself went down. So I wasn't that much of a fan of Icon, much bigger fan of Def Jam Fight for NY. And that goes to show keeping it simple is sometimes the best way to do it. Sometimes we have all this technology, look at all the different things that we can do, and you really overdo it. So some of these people, let's just go back, not even go back to a simpler time, but just remember what made those games fun. All those games were fun because of how immersive they were. Like you think about a Dragon's Lair, you were really involved there. You didn't have to have this beautiful environment. You know what I'm saying? It was more about your experience, not about looking and being like, ooh, oh, this is great. This looks great. You know, the gameplay itself sold the game to you. And let's not forget about card games, y'all. How about a nice simple card game? I used to play Spades on Xbox 360. I'm showing you that gameplay right here. Look, even something as simple as Spades can be fun, and it's relaxing. You can just have a seat, have a drink of Kool-Aid or whatever your favorite drink of choice is. You know, sit back, maybe even play online multiplayer, but it's still more chill. You know, that's what I want. I'm just talking about a callback, nostalgic callback to those games, those times when everything just seemed a little more simple. And it wasn't because I was younger, because don't get me wrong, even when Def Jam Fight for NY was out, I was an adult. I was an adult playing again. That lets you know how long I've been around on this earth. I said at the beginning, you see the gray, y'all know. You know, but that also speaks to my Ardor name. I don't know if you guys know what Ardor means, but I chose that name, that moniker, you know, for like MisterArdor. I chose it because I thought I had really missed the boat on streaming, y'all. I thought I was like, you know what? Look how old I am. Why should I do this? Look, and just watch all these young guys and watch all these other guys that are way more talented than you. Watch them do it. And I was like, you know what? I've loved games for my entire life. So why not me do this? So then I started doing this, and Ardor's about passion and enthusiasm. And you guys, not to be a salesman, I'm not that type of person, but everything in my store is about passion and enthusiasm. This hat, as you see, says Ardor on the side. That's what this is about. Ardor means passion and enthusiasm, and as long as you're infusing your passion and enthusiasm into something that you enjoy in life, that's what it's about. You are Ardor. I am Ardor. We are Ardor. And that's always my message. And I'm just trying to give back. That's all I want to do. So if you like anything in the store, if you want to see something in the store, let me know. But anyway, so into that, I can't believe I wasn't even going to do that. That just came up. See, that's kind of my squirrel mentality sometimes. So now I want to really jump into the Xbox showcase. Let's talk about the Xbox showcase. What I feel like Xbox did is they said, you know what? What worked, y'all? Perfect Dark? That worked. How about we go do that? How about Gears of War? That worked. Why don't we go and do that? And of course you got the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that's coming out. Xbox just said, let's keep it simple, stupid. You know, remember KISS? Keep it simple, stupid. That's exactly what they did. And they just kept everything simple and was like, look, this is the way we're gonna do it. Let's bring back all these different titles. And they didn't say Gears number blah, blah, blah. They didn't want to do that. And I like that they didn't do that. I think it's best that they did. Now, was I ever the biggest Gears fan? I think my kids love Gears more than I did. You know, I was Halo. I didn't play too much Gears. You know, I did play it. It was fun. Especially it was different. It was unique, brutal, definitely brutal, but it just wasn't for me. But I like what they did. People were excited. Xbox looks like they are trending upwards, at least when in the game department, which is always good to see, because we don't just need to have games, especially games that are exclusive to PlayStation or games that are exclusive to Xbox. We need these cross-platform games so people can play the platform that they want to play on. If they want to be on PC playing a game, they want to be on Xbox, they want to be on PlayStation, they want to be on Switch, let them be on those platforms and let them play those games. Now, that's easier said than done because that's work for the developer. But look, that's the price you pay for gaming, man. There's gamers on all these different platforms. But I thought Xbox did a great job. I just wanted to touch on that. I thought they did a great job at their showcase. And I'm looking forward to what they have to come next, because it sounds like they're going to have a handheld.
Rumored, that's been talked about. We talked about it on the pre-show. There was a big reaction from our audience here, and that is an Xbox handheld?
Yeah.
So,
coming now. I'm not a big handheld fan. I don't need to be mobile all over the world. I don't need to be in the grocery store, you know, trying to get some achievements or anything like that. I don't need to take it with me. You know, I game when I'm home. That's when I need it. That's when I want to be relaxed in my environment. So that's when I play it. I don't need to take it all over the place. But if they do come out with a handheld, it's still a good option. And we'll see if gamers actually take to it. But I know that Phil, why do I always forget his name? How do I always forget Phil's name? I can't remember his last, Spencer. There it is. It came back to me while I was talking. So Phil Spencer was talking about the handheld. So we'll see if we actually get that handheld. But let me know what you guys think about that showcase. If you saw it, if you saw what games were coming, if you were hyped for it, or if you just was like, this is just Xbox being Xbox. But I like what they showed, and it's gonna be pretty solid, I think, for all gamers around. All right, for the last segment, we're gonna just talk about where the game's at. So where the game's at is just gonna be a little segment where I talk about what's coming out, maybe and there's things that are of interest to me and maybe interest to us in the community. All right. So Elden Ring came out. I do play For Honor. I absolutely love For Honor, and I can't stop playing For Honor. Do not play Elden Ring. I'm not a big action RPG like Diablo, Elden Ring. I'm not big, with that genre, so I don't play it. It looks great. I tell you what, every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, it looks good. It looks good. And I'm like, I kind of want to jump in and try it, but I don't know. I just don't for some reason, I only have so much time, y'all. You only have so much time, especially when you have a family, you get older. And so what do you usually do? You usually stick to the things that you love and the things that you enjoy. So it's hard trying new things. While it's not hard, it is hard at times. Because anytime you start something new, what is it you got to do? You got to learn. You got to learn, all right, what do I put in this wheel, my action wheel and all this other stuff? If you're familiar with it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you're not, you got to learn it, and it takes time, and maybe you don't want to take that time to get that into the game. So that's why I kind of stick with what I know. Stick to games that I can quickly get into, quickly get out of, quickly get back into. And that's why I love, like, For Honor, these fighting games, sports games. You got these shooters, because you can just jump in, have an experience, have fun, and jump out. And that also brings me back to those games I was talking about, like Galaga, like the IAI game that I was showing you earlier. Those games are so important. They're extremely important to have because you can do just that. It's not going to take you, it's not a long learning curve or a curve that you're going to have to go on and it's going to take you forever. But for you Elden Ring lovers out there, I know that game is supposed to be it's supposed to be it. So I hope you guys are enjoying that. If you're not, get on it. Get on it. If you like RPGs, that's definitely something you want to try out. And other games they have, well, I just want to talk about the betas. The betas there. So we got Marvel Rivals beta that's going to be coming, and it's finally going to be available for us that didn't get it. The alpha, I wasn't able to get a code for the alpha. I put in for the code. I didn't get a code for the alpha, but the beta's coming, so I'm happy. Can't wait for that to get here because I really want to try that game out. I'm excited for that. So Marvel Rivals beta is coming, and then Maximum Football beta just ended. So for you sports fans like myself, that ended. I was gonna put it on my Ardor Sports. I do have an Ardor Sports channel. So that's where I put all my sports gaming related stuff. So definitely go check that out if you're interested. And I'll try to put a link in my description. Hopefully I don't forget this. I'll try to put a link in my description. I'll try to put something in the video so you can actually see Ardor Sports. I appreciate all you guys' support. And I just want to mention, the only reason I'm doing this podcast as quickly as I am right now is somebody actually asked for it. Somebody actually wants this podcast, and I love it because I'm here for it. And if you're here for it, I'm going to try to continue to give it. And hopefully I continue to improve over time, because I'm sure if I get to episode 100, it's going to be leaps and bounds better than episode 1 and episode 2. So it's all about improving, figuring out how I want to do this and whatnot. And we're going to get better. We're going to work through all the kinks and it'll improve as we go along. And hopefully you're there for the journey and you stick along for the journey. So College Football 25 is right on the horizon. It's releasing mid-July. So I'm really excited for that game. Definitely going to see that on the Ardor Sports channel. So if you want to see some good College Football 25 action, I'm going to be taking the Tar Heels for sure. They're going to be coming out on the field doing some damage. So I hope you guys come and check that out. But there's any other games that you guys can think of, throw them in the comments. Anybody that comes by and says, hey, there's this one, I could use the assist. Throw me an assist so I can get that easy layup. You know what I mean? I could use the help. But that's really all I wanted to get into today. I want to really focus on the nostalgic element. I really think we need to get back to that. Get to some of those solid games that you just jumped in, enjoyed the experience, and then when it was over, it was over. It was a game with a beginning and an end. There's no problem with having a game that begins and ends. It doesn't have to go forever. We don't need multiplayer, for a game to have longevity. And I know you're like, oh, these action RPG games, but these action RPG games, even then they keep adding on expansions. So, here's another story, here's another battle, here's something else you can get into. No, I'm just talking about like Contra, beginning and end. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I have for this one. I know it's tons of gaming topics. I know there's tons of channels that you can tune into. I know there's tons of things that are going on in this world. I'm extremely happy, especially if you made it to this point in the video. Much love to you for showing me love and showing me support. But that's all I have for this one. For this episode 2 of Here For It. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Until next time, gamers. Peace.